Hello, today we'll be talking about how to perform a configuration override in AmmonitOR. So first of all, what is a configuration override? When you connect the sensor to the data logger, you need to provide some parameters, for instance, in slope and offset, that will define how the measurement is then conducted and calculated in the device. And sometimes it can happen that the slope or offset is just incorrect and you want to change it. You can do it at the data logger, and it's actually better because it has the 1 second measurements, and AmmonitOR has only the 10-minute aggregated data. So it's more accurate to do it on the logger, but it's not always possible because sometimes you realize it very late and the data aren't there anymore at the data logger. So you can do it also in AmmonitOR, and it's especially fine with the linear formulas. So to do that, when you open your AmmonitOR project, you need to go here in the menu Settings, Device, and down here you have the image of your mast, and you need to select the sensor that you want to perform the configuration override on. So I'm going to select here the top anemometer. Then it has one evaluation coming from that sensor called top, and its wind speed. And here you have the configuration history of that sensor, and you can see that the last slope and offset were 0.0462 and offset 0.21. So let's say you want to change that. You need to click down here on the new configuration override. You need to provide some kind of reason, let's say error while setting up. You need to provide the period, which is usually 1 second. This is how often your sensor is delivering the data to the data logger. And you need to change the offset. So let's say the offset's going to be 2 and the slope is going to be now 0.5. You also can provide minimal value, which in our case was 0.1, and I'm going to keep it that way. And down here you can select the time frame you want this override to be applied on. But in our case, it is the whole measurement period, so we're just going to leave both of them empty, and that will then cover the whole measurement period. So I'm going to save, and you can see in here on the top it says that it was added, and it takes a little bit of time to apply the configuration override. So when you scroll down, you can see that there were so-called evaluation configuration override executions, and you can see whether the override that you applied succeeded. So you have the start time, the end time, and the success. So it is not yet done, but you can refresh the website. And by now it is done. So if you go and check your data, for instance, in measurement data, your top wind speed will now be calculated using the change slope and offset. So that was it. Thank you very much.